As to the Seahawks offense, Pete Carroll talked yesterday about Russell Wilson. He said we went through it and we watched it together. There's a few plays on the shorter passing game that he just really tried to drill the football and maybe threw it a little too hard, harder than normal, trying to make sure the ball was there and crisp and all that. The ball's down the field. He threw the ball pretty well, on the move really well. We weren't as sharp as we needed to be. It showed up on 3 specific third down situations that could have been very convertible for us. That's just the way we looked at it. Remember, they had 5 straight 3-and-outs at one point. They've had 2 games this year with 5 straight 3-and-outs. The rest of the league combined has 0 instances of 5 straight 3-and-outs. Look, hey, Russell Wilson's catching some of the mud from this, but deservedly so. And a lot of the balls he threw down the field, they looked good when they left his hand. They just landed nowhere.
Yeah, no, I know. I think it's a lot of there's a lot of things there. Yeah, Russell's not at his best. The offense provides him no rhythm. It's not very complicated, the offense, when you break it down. They can't run the ball. Teams don't necessarily worry about loading the box to stop Seattle, the run game. You can kind of play, hey, we're going to protect against Lockett and Metcalf a little bit, and we still think we can stop the run. Okay, that's tight coverage. But Russell, again, I think where, the precision you need on some of the shorter type of throws, that's where I do think the finger can come into play to a degree. And as you've heard me say before, I'm Johnny Mechanics over here when it comes to the quarterback. He's got a little different mechanic, and I've had this conversation with Drew Brees compared to a lot of quarterbacks in football. He's not exactly textbook for how you would teach quarterbacks to throw a football. He doesn't throw the ball like, Rodgers or Brady. He does. It's not even Mahomes, who does have a baseball background either. I mean, Russell Wilson is a little bit of he does this with the arm. It's all arm. He doesn't always necessarily, like we talked about before, get the shoulder, get the created opposites between the upper and lower half of his body, and then let it unwind. That's not what he is. He's kind of an arm thrower. So when you're an arm thrower like that, and then you can't grip the football quite the way you want, you're going to lose control of it a little bit. And to me, that's what's kind of reared its ugly head a little bit over the last, 2 weeks.
Something I noticed, too, in that pack of plays we just showed. It was 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 2nd and 4. They're in shotgun formation. They're clearly throwing the football. Those are –
yes.
Those are run or pass situations.
Right.
Why are we resorting to these clear and obvious we're going to throw the ball when it could have been a run? Here, look at this one, 3rd and 4. Why does this have to be a pass? It could have been a run. Now he missed the guy, and it was right at the sticks, but it didn't have to be a pass. Here's 3rd and 3. It's another pass that's off target. Why don't we run for one of these just to get – if third down is such an area of strugglesville, as you would say, for the Seahawks, why don't we find a way to just make one? Let's do something different than what we've been doing, and let's make one of these. And they had a –
there's no surprise element with their offense. There's no to what you're saying. There's no surprise element. There's never. That's never. I can promise you they're going to run on first, and then second, I don't know, and then third down, like you said, it's going to be shotgun. No one's going to move, and it's going to be the most basic route concepts you've ever seen in your life. I mean, again, he missed 2 easy throws there. There's no doubt. I expect Russell Wilson to make that happen. There was a slant route to Eskridge where it was tight coverage. Okay. That's not going to happen there. He gives the go ball to DK Metcalf down the left sideline. He got greedy, and he's feeling the pressure probably a little bit because DK hasn't got a ball, and he doesn't throw the ball to the guy open in the middle of the field. But when your offense is off kilter, and a little bit like we talked about, I think earlier in the week, off kilter, you never get the guy in a rhythm. It's hard. It's hard, and they give him nothing easy. There's no wide receiver screens. There's no running back screens. There's never anything. I mean, you said it already in this segment. 5 straight 3-and-outs twice this year. That's hard to do. Like you said, the rest of the NFL, nobody's done that. The Seahawks have done it twice. This day and age in the NFL, where the referees want to give you first downs on a platter. I mean, they're looking for anything. There's so many issues with that Seattle offense. I don't even know where to begin. And it's not easy for Russell Wilson to overcome all of them, and especially when he's not at his best right now, coming off an injury to his throwing hand.
And we know what happened last year, reportedly, when he went to the coaching staff with ideas on how to make the offense better. They told him, you mind your business and we'll take care of it. I don't know, and I don't know that we ever will know. Maybe we'll find out at some point years from now. By then we won't care, frankly. But what's going on with this offense from a structure and design standpoint? Like Shane Waldron, hey, this is how we did it in L.A., and is Pete Carroll saying, that's not how we do it here?
Right.
Yeah, like we don't know the answer to that.
I know.
Somebody does. And the other curiosity about this, how high up the ladder will the questions be asked of Pete Carroll and others about why the team is so bad this year? At what point does it land on the radar screen of Jody Allen and of Vulcan Incorporated, which manages all of the property she inherited from her brother Paul when he passed in 2018? And is this season enough to spark major changes at the top? And do they think that their only chance of keeping Russell Wilson is to change coaches? And do they even want to keep Russell Wilson at this point? There's a lot of questions that are banging around the Seahawks organization.
To me, I think the way you laid it out there is at least my thought. To me, I think we're going to there's two avenues that I could see with Seattle. One, they blow it up. You know, Pete Carroll and John Schneider stay there. Russell Wilson gets traded. They blow it up and they try to build another team. Or it's what you said as well. You know, Pete Carroll, John Schneider, you're out of here. We want Russell Wilson, and now we're going to get somebody and some players in here that are going to make it all about him, and we're going to be more sexy and explosive on offense and change the mantra of how we play. To me, it just seems like it's inevitable at this point. It's one of the two. It's Pete or Russ. I think that's the road we're going down. I just don't see this. I don't see a repeat of this combination coach-quarterback next year. I really don't. And we'll be surprised.
Even if Russell Wilson was playing like he did before this year, I would not be comfortable with the idea of firing the coach and handpicking a coach who will specifically cater to Russell Wilson and give Russell Wilson everything he wants. You got another negotiation on a contract coming up with Russell Wilson. You're putting yourself in a position where you got to pay him $50 million a year if you start doing that, and you really do make it all about Russell. I don't know that that's a good idea, no matter who your quarterback is.
Yeah, I hear you.
To say we're going to fire the coach and hire a coach who's specifically charged with doing whatever Russell wants. Now, they would never say that, but that may be the perception. It may just be full reset button time in Seattle. And then the problem is, how much does it cost you to buy out Pete Carroll if you do that? Because I got some pushback from somebody I know last night. Oh, you say that there are coaches making more than $20 million and Pete Carroll's making $17 million. I've got the list right here that the NFL has. The NFL list is different from what they're really getting. On the NFL's list, I'm told the highest paid coach in the NFL is making $13 million a year. That tells you right there that the NFL list is incomplete.
That's BS.
There's no way in hell
There's no
Bill
way.
Belichick is getting out of bed for $13 million a year.
No.
Not after everything he's accomplished. So
I know what 4 or 5 of them are making. Like, no. So I don't need to have anybody or call me or text me or whatever. I know.
I had somebody insisting last night. They don't pay these guys extra money under the table or these other companies. Like, well, then you don't know what the hell you're talking about, buddy. Because they do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm with you there. They do. I know for a fact. So you're not going to waver on that one.
The reality, though, for Pete Carroll, and again, this is where Vulcan Incorporated, is it worried about making the Seahawks as good as it can be, or is it worried about the balance sheet? The balance sheet's looking pretty good, and the balance sheet takes a hit if you got to buy out Pete Carroll at $17 million a year or whatever it is that's been promised to him. So these are very real factors where business takes over. Seahawks fans just want different. They don't care what. They don't care how.
Right.
They just want different. Different may not be quite as easy to get when you're talking about the financial considerations that will be at play for the Seahawks, Chris.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And it just seems that way. I mean, again, just reading between the tea leaves, as I like to say, it seems like the Seattle fan base has become exhausted by it, and they want a new look to a degree. And when you read articles out there or anything out there, it seems like they're a little tired.
Oh, and the hostility, I do a KJR thing every Wednesday night, the main Seattle sports talk station, and they asked me last night, hey, what would your argument be as the PR guy, the marketing director for the Seahawks, as to why people should go to these remaining home games? Like, I don't know, you already bought the tickets. I don't know. I mean, what I don't know. Why would you go if you're a Seahawks fan? to the remaining home games? Good question. I don't know.
It's it's a great stadium. It's right there by downtown. What else are you going to do on a Sunday afternoon? You could walk right back to the city, have a little dinner after the game. That seems fun to me. I'm down for that. Does NBC want to let me off for a Sunday? I'll go there. Let's go there and hang out.
Or you could just stay home and watch the games that matter on TV. You could just do that.
You could do that. You're right. You're right. I know.
All right.
Yep. All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.